trophy. Did it, booyah, trophy.
Let's go, Brandon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loot Bros podcast. I'm your host, Residentdarrell, and with me tonight, I've got Kalai.
What up, people? I am going to apologize for my sauciness tonight.
She got sauce in the pants. And then with us tonight, we got an old returning guest, longtime friend of the show, a magic connoisseur, I guess you would say. So someone who has turned his back on his true gaming ways and has devoted himself to magic. We have John Michael. What's up, GameSquat?
Oh, what's up, guys?
It's been a long time, brother.
It has been. I actually just picked up Mafia. I'm playing Mafia, the Definitive Edition.
Oh my gosh, look at that. That's 2 times this week you have surprised me with an actual game.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a credit card like an adult. So you have to try it out, make sure it works. So I picked up Mafia for PlayStation 4. I picked up Destroy All Humans for Xbox to show that Daryl that I actually use my Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Triple Threat, we got a Switch game for Kara.
There you go.
Yeah, she got the Untitled Goose game, so she's been goosing around.
That's awesome. That's an interesting game. It's very cute.
She adores it.
Good. That's awesome. Well, John Michael, thank you for coming on the show. I'm going to call you Squat the rest of the show.
Yeah, you're good.
Longtime listeners will remember that when you came on the first time, it was because we met at a GameStop that you worked at. You insulted me for my choice of game that I was purchasing. Do you remember what game that was?
Yeah, it was Call of Duty.
Which one?
No, was it Modern Warfare?
No,
it Advanced Warfare. No, oh yeah, the one where you go on the moon.
No, yeah, it was Ghost. It was so funny because everyone who listens to the show knows that I've always championed that game, and I went into GameStop because we had an Xbox 360 in my office at the time, and at lunch, me and the guys would get together and do some split screen deathmatch,
AKA play really bad COD games
or really good COD games. And so the only game we didn't have in there at the time was Ghost, and that one just so happened to be my favorite. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go get it. So I swing over to GameStop, I pick it up, and you're like, this one sucks, right? It's like, this happens to be my favorite. Can we be friends?
No, it was more like, this game sucks, right? Can I have a job?
That's actually exactly how it happened. I mentioned the fact that we played video games at work, and John Michael was like, hey, can I come with you guys? Smoke you another one, you'll be all right.
I drank down the wrong pipe.
There you go. Well,
Ooh,
you should,
show faux pas.
Look, if you're going to swallow on the show, at least do it like a champ.
Do show us how to swallow, Daryl.
Oh, no, thank you. That's not my bag. All right. So this is the Loot Bros podcast. This is a general gaming and somewhat comedic podcast. Some people think we're funny. I'm mostly
And
John
now
Michael.
magic.
No, you know what? You are what were you probably now the 3rd person we've had on the show that plays Magic?
See, more magic players than Resident Evil players.
Well, here's look what happened to
who are the other
Magic
two?
players.
Real quick.
Well, Frosty was a Magic player. Look where he's
And
at.
the statistics guy.
And we're not counting him yet. We're talking about, and then B Button Boy, he was a Magic guy, and look where he's at.
That's true.
Is this the path you want to follow?
3rd shift.
What about me?
You gave up your Magic ways.
But I didn't get rid of my magic cards.
Oh, that's true. She plays magic.
So that old man still lives there.
He does. But in my defense, they're hidden behind all my board games. I literally hid them from myself.
She hides Magic cards like old fathers hide porno tapes.
Exactly.
Yo, so speaking of that, my UFC guy I'm playing right now, I'm playing UFC. Another video game.
There you go. Boom. That's 2.
My guy's name is JM Magic Man Murphy.
Oh my gosh. He probably has AIDS.
I don't know about that. not yet. He hasn't got enough blood from other people on him.
It'll happen eventually. All right, guys. Typical Loot Bros fashion, we start the show off with a toast. John Michael, you hadn't forgot, have you?
No, but I don't have anything to crack because
Oh
I'm not
my
a heathen.
gosh. You know what? You just like those other Magic players. And to be honest, we probably had 6 Magic players on the show now. So.
I also have a rum and coke because I'm an adult.
Well, I've got a Diet Coke because I'm an adult +2.
I got a Dr. Ugly. This episode is sponsored by Dr. Ugly.
I don't know. Is Dr. Ugly like Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, except it's flavored water. It's actually a really good company. And the last time that I made an ugly joke and I told them on Twitter, they wanted to know the podcast I was on so they could follow us.
Hey, you know what?
Heck yeah.
Yes, shout them out. That'd be awesome. All right. Before we toast, there's a couple things I want to toast to. Okay. A would be the end of the second ever trophy war between Team Loot and Team Trophy Horse. By God, they did it again. They pulled a fast one, and right in the 11th hour, they took the lead and they beat us by 1 point in the war. It was a slobber knocker. It was a blast. We had a really good time. I've got some great stories to tell. I'll sprinkle them out between this episode and the next few. And I'm even going to have a special Super Loot Bros with Noah the Builder. I'm going to have my son on. And we're going to talk about just kind of our experience, but like just gaming in general between a father and a son and like just some of the fun we've had. We had a blast. Our stream was lit. Those first couple hours of the war, we were having fun. Both my boys were having a blast. My nephew was over. He was having fun, but he was also trying to be a hipster. So it was very cool. Next up, we're going to be toasting to our Patreon producers, MZ Nitro, and my name is effing Mayo. We also want to pop a little toast to the new iTunes reviews that we have. We've got 3 new iTunes reviews to read out. No, wait, 4 iTunes reviews to read out. Thank you guys so much for everyone who's listened to the show and reviewing. If you have not ever reviewed the Loot Bros podcast, either the red feed or the black feed, either one, please take a moment, do so. If you don't use iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever they call it these days, to do your reviews or to do your podcasting, take a minute, log in on your computer, log in on your phone, whatever it is you do, leave us a review. It makes a tremendous difference whenever every single time someone goes and drops a review, we see an increase of numbers coming into the show, and that allows us to grow. So we definitely appreciate it. Thank you, patrons, and toast to the war. Awesome. So I didn't even finish my last Diet Coke before I opened that one, so I'm double fisting them.
Is it going to be another 6 Coke episode?
Here's to a war I was never in.
You know what? You can be in the next one, though, because we're not done.
So can I tell a story about the entire the war, the beginning story?
Go for it.
So I logged in. I couldn't wait to start watching, and Darrell wasn't quite ready. He didn't start at the same time as Tricky did, so I jumped onto Tricky's team first, and it was crickets and quiet. And I'm sure if I paid attention, I'd hear, "Oh yeah!" from one of those anime titty games he was playing.
That's all he played. 20 hours of anime.
That and just squish noises.
Yeah. So I then jumped into your stream, and it was lit. We were having fun. We were making jokes. We were talking about Batman versus Superman.
Oh my gosh. My nephew thought that the games I was playing were so horrendous, because they were. I was playing some really trash, easy platinums. Shout out Breakthrough Gaming. I was playing some awful stuff. But the best part was every time I'd pop a platinum, if I got a trophy, we'd yell, obviously, trophy. If I got a platinum, then Paxton would yell, booyah. And he was having so much fun. And then my nephew, who again was trying to be too cool for school, he was like, I can't believe you have all these terrible games. And I was playing like Zippy the Ball and ZJ the Square and Pammy and Tammy's. Oh my God, I got a trophy.
Let's go, Brandon.
go. I just want to let you know Magic Man just knocked a man out.
There you go. Well, you knocked somebody out. I popped a trophy in Saints Row.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We had a really good time, and Kalai, I really appreciate you and Jim, hanging in there with us and getting in the stuff, and it was fun. And those first several hours were definitely the highlight, in my opinion, because we had tons of people coming in and out of the show. In and out of the stream. We had, I'd say, the most I had at one time was 11 concurrent, watchers, which for someone who doesn't stream is pretty good. And it was so funny because every time I put in another trash game, my watchers would drop, and then it would kind of build back up, and then it would get up to 10 or 11, and then it would take a dump again. And my brother, well, my brother was watching too, but my nephew and my son were like, "Dad, you're killing yourself. You're ruining your own stream. Stop playing these trash games." It was awesome.
So I have a question about the score. The score was really weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. So the way we did originally, it was just a trophy war, me versus Tricky, and then it escalated into teams, which it was probably always going to be teams. But then what we decided to do, because it's the actual Trophy Horrors members were like, "No, we're not playing." So he was going to have to put together a team, and they didn't want to play because of the easy platinums, and they're still not quite versed in all the real trash that's out there. But some of the guys he was recruiting are. But some of the guys he recruited are more like your true gamers that play legit games that don't, get it down with all the trash and all that stuff. So we were like, well, what can we do to incentivize them to have a good time and be able to participate and not ruin themselves playing these dumpy games? So we're like, hey, let's pick a list of games that count as bonus points. And I was like, I really don't want to get the community involved, so we'll let the community choose that list. So it was 1 point for whatever team got the most trophies, 1 point for whatever team got the most platinums, 1 point for whichever individual got the most trophies, and 1 point for an individual that got the most platinums. Now, that could all be the same person. The same person that gets the most trophies, gets the most platinums, could also lead the charge for their team, and that'd be 4 points for their team. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's still, you need a tiebreaker. So we're bonus games. So we'll just pick bonus games, and then as many games as you can beat inside the 25 hours is a bonus point for the team. And so the Trophy Horrors ended up getting the most trophies, the most platinums of all 4 of those points. But we beat the most games. Unfortunately, it came down to I think it was 10 to 1, 10 to 11. I can't remember what the total score was. It was off by 1 point, but it was 60 platinums to 61 platinums total for the teams. So one would have tied it, and we would have, if we would have came to a tie, Tricky and I would have had at a later date to do a whole nother stream, just one-on-one as a tiebreaker. But in the end, it was a really fun time. We had a really great, at least on our end, we had a great time. I know that not everybody enjoys watching or playing all these little trashy, easy platinum games. So overall, it was good. So, I think there were some things that probably should have been nailed down right, right before the event started, because we were putting a lot of emphasis on what you can and can't play based on what you've already got in your history. So, for example, if I've already platinum Ratchet and Clank, it does me no good to play Ratchet and Clank on the stream for the event because I'm not going to get any trophies or platinum for it. Well, right at the last minute, we decided it was okay for people to start brand new accounts. And then that really did kind of sway I'm not going to say it swayed the game, but it definitely swayed the opportunity of who can and can't get points for games they're already familiar with. So, for example, one of their team members is very familiar with BioShock and has notoriously platinumed the game in 1 day or 1 week. I think it was 1 day, the story I was told, for a different competition. So allowing them to start with a fresh account means they can go back to a game they're already very familiar with and knock it out. Again, it doesn't really matter. But at the last second, it was kind of like, man, I kind of undid some of the back end of this. But we had a good time. It was totally worth it. We between both teams, we raised a couple $100 for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. We did the 25 hours. I didn't stream the entire 25 hours. My last, like 3 or 4 hours of the day or the evening, I guess the morning, really. I decided not to stream because I was playing visual novels that you need a guide for. And I was watching Tricky stream as he's trying to follow a guide to play these trashy Japanese anime titty games. And it's like, yeah, that's not entertaining. And of course, not that many people are going to watch at 3 a.m. anyways. So I killed my camera. I let the boys turn Fallout 4 up. The boys were playing Fallout 4 for the first time. So they turned that up so they could hear their game. And we were just laughing and cutting up and having a good time and popping trophies.
I was really, really disappointed because I wanted to see it was Noah playing Surgeon Simulator.
Yeah. We tried. It's just that he couldn't stream through his account because of his age. Like those features are locked. And I don't have it set up to where you could just like stream through the PC. And I was all running through all that stuff anyways. Or I had all that stuff set up on my end of the room. So it was unfortunate, but I bought an Elgato and I will get everything set up. So we'll do a stream again and we'll definitely do something fun. One thing that we really took away from this whole event and everything is that like streaming with which I've been doing a little bit of streaming with my kids, it's already fun. But doing a combination of things with the community and my children was like, that was like peak. That was real. That was a blast. So there's definitely some more of that coming. I'll definitely do more stuff with my children and the community and doing like this event, I had pitched, a while back, March of Dimes being the Loot Bros kind of charity event of choice. Selfishly because my wife, she heads up that for her hospital, but also because it's at a different time of the year. It's in March. Whereas Extra Life is in November, and everyone in the video game industry does Extra Life. So I was like, we could get away from that because, when it comes down to it, the general person is not going to go, hey, let's go see what the Loot Bros are doing for Extra Life, opposed to their favorite streamer, favorite podcast, favorite like the Game Informer Network does crazy amounts of dares and fun stuff. And even though I don't watch their content, Kind of Funny has always notoriously done a bunch of stuff for Extra Life. So there's lots of bigger outlets that do a lot of things. So the competition is really, really high. And it's kind of like, if you're going to watch somebody, you're going to watch like a professional over us, unless you're like closely affiliated with us. So, but this was so much fun. I think we'll stick with it. We may do both, but definitely we enjoyed this enough to do it again. So, but that's that. That was very, very good. So, I am going to read out our new iTunes reviews real fast and then knock out a little bit of housekeeping and then we'll jump into all the fun stuff. So, the first iTunes review we have is from a dude bro Lootski. It says, great show. I love some Loot Bros. This is a funny group that makes a great show. She said that twice. If you are looking for a laugh, you will find it here. Well, thank you so much, dude bro. Second iTunes review is also from dude bro Lutsky. It says, great show. Since there's 2 feeds, I will leave a review on both. Thank you. Great show, great laughs. Residentdarrell for mayor of Vita Island. Keeping Vita Island alive. I'm very close to my next platinum on Vita, as a matter of fact. So, next up, we have Mali Kahana. Is that right?
Sounds about right. I don't know. It's a random person I've never heard of.
It sounds very Hawaiian.
It does, doesn't it? That's really weird. They were inspired by me.
It's almost like they might have named themselves after you, Kalai. That's pretty crazy. It says, fantastic show. Darrell is amazing. Tanner is MIA. Zach is wonderful. And man, that girl Kalai is the bomb. That's a nice little shout out for you.
It is, right?
Then the last one we have is 42J. Maniacs. Come listen to this collection of nut jobs as they do an entertaining meander through all things gaming. and not. And sometimes even get to the topic of the show, which that does happen from time to time. Audience participation via Facebook and Discord is recommended. Well, thank you, 42J. That's right. We do get very active with our Facebook and our Discord group. There's definitely more action in the Facebook than the Discord. I've been trying to focus more in the Discord, but that Facebook group is always moving. So, yeah, definitely. Thank you guys so much for the kind reviews. It goes a long way. It's tremendous. So, real quick before we get into what we've been playing and all that good stuff, we do have a Patreon, just like every other podcast under the sun. You can get in for as little as $1. You get extra episodes every month. There's a $5 tier for our deep dives and all of the different game reviews we're doing. This next deep dive will be the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes. Kalai, you've played that, right?
I beat it last night. Last night.
And you played the game?
I played the game, and then I played the game.
So my copy, it still hasn't showed up yet. So it's supposed to be here, but Amazon has not sent it to me yet.
So this series isn't a trilogy.
It's a anthology. It's supposed to be 8 games.
No, it looks like it's going to be done in seasons.
Well, yeah, now. So they're saying that the next game, which they show at the end of House of Ashes, The Devil Inside is what it's called or something like that?
Yeah, yep.
That's supposed to be the end of season 1. I'm doing quotations.
Yep.
Yep, so John Michael, Mr. Squat.
What's up, bud?
You've played some of the Dark Pictures anthology games, correct?
No, I haven't, not yet.
Oh, dude. That would be great for you and your wife. Those are
yeah, we almost picked up It Takes Two.
Okay, so It Takes Two, that's a little bit different. That is a co-op game, like very Pixar film inspired.
Yeah, but it needs 2 people to finish.
Correct.
Style.
The Dark Pictures anthology is a series of horror games, each game taking on a different style of horror. Like the first one's a ghost ship, the second one's like a Salem witch trials kind of thing. The third game I haven't played yet because my copy hasn't showed up yet. But each one kind of takes a different style of horror, and it's very they're not overly long. What do you say, Kalai? Like 5 to 6 hours?
Yes. The last one was 6 hours. And I have to be very, very careful here because I just can't wait till our deep dive.
Well, hopefully my copy will be here any day so I can jump in. But yeah, so the Dark Pictures anthologies, they're great decision-making games. So that would be something I would recommend for you and Kara, especially if you guys like horror movies.
I'll help you out. You said you have an Xbox. Do you have Xbox Game Pass?
No, it just lapsed.
Well, you should get it again because the Man of Medan's on there.
It's just the first one.
Yeah. It's still, it would be worth it just to do it for the month.
Yeah, it would. Actually, you know what? Getting into some of the other things that we're going to talk about today, getting Game Pass right now would be the most beneficial time for you ever because you would get Battlefield 2042, like a 10-hour free trial to that because Game Pass Ultimate has EA Play. And through EA Play, you can get 10 hours to all the brand new EA games. You'll get Halo at the next month. And then, of course, you have Dark Picture.
And then as a perk, if you get Game Pass Ultimate, right now they're giving away 75 free days of Crunchyroll with a new account.
What is this, Export Fanboy Pack podcast?
That ain't for me. I ain't about that.
So. Well, I was all prepped for Zach.
Oh yeah, so he can see all the anime boobies. So, all right, yeah, that's all the housekeeping. We're gonna have some other shows popping up here and there. I've had to postpone some of them. I keep talking about them coming back, but we've got like some dates that have been rescheduled. I'm bringing on some different guests. We're gonna be talking about some cool stuff on some of these extra shows. So, outside of that, that's all the housekeeping and the BS. John Michael, you already mentioned a couple of the games you've been playing. You got anything else you want to mention?
Yeah. So I'm downloading Destroy All Humans on my Xbox. I'm looking forward to that. I've actually never played it. So that was like one of those games where like G4 was on television still,
Yeah.
and you'd watch it being played and be like, "Oh, that was a game I'd always want." Conqueror's Bad Fur Day was one of those games too that I never actually played, but I've always.
Heck yeah, dude! I love freaking Destroy All Humans. So whenever PS4 came out and they did the PS2 to PS4 games, they were like, "Oh, we're going to take our popular PS2 games, we're going to give them trophies and re-release them." I bought Destroy All Humans 1 and 2. I platinumed Destroy All Humans 1. Destroy All Humans 2 played so badly, like they changed the controls, and it's just not as good to actually the moment-to-moment gameplay. So I haven't finished that one on there, but Destroy All Humans is so good. And I bought the remake, which I'm assuming that's the one you bought.
Yeah.
So I've got that on Xbox and I've got that on PS4, and I started on PS4, and it is phenomenal. But that's a game you need to listen to all the dialogue because it is hilarious. And a game like that could not be made again today.
Oh no, definitely a product of like the era and time.
Oh yeah, the golden age, man. It's so funny. And the stuff that they say and do is obnoxious, and of course, it's all about anal probing, people sucking their brains out their butts and stuff. Like it's
also it's like right up your alley.
It's right up something, that's for sure. Ooh. Anything else?
No, that's about it. My wife has been honking around town on Untitled Goose Game. She's loving that.
There you go. That's awesome.
And I'm kicking butt on UFC 4 right now.
How is UFC 4?
I really like it. So I'm a big fan of it. So this one, because they basically incorporated the company that did the EA version. And that's the guys who did like Fight Night. So it has more of a Fight Night mechanic. So like it's more of like a button mashing kind of. It's like Mortal Kombat, like combos sort of. And then when you go on the ground, it breaks it down into like a more traditional UFC game.
So that was the thing I didn't enjoy about the other UFC games is it felt really cumbersome and hard to play. But I love
this one is so hard. But like once you start to get the flow of it, your guy will get better and better and better.
Okay. Awesome. Cool deal. All right, Kalai, what have you been playing?
Oh, I've played a few games. Of course, I played House of Ashes, which I'm going to not really talk about here because we will be doing a deep dive. Can't wait. I've played, I downloaded and played Horizon Forza 5. Oh my god. Darrell, have you played this game yet?
Nope, I hear it's good. I don't play any of the Forza games, so I just have to take everybody else's opinion for
Oh, you should really think about them because I think your kids would love them.
You shouldn't play them. Just think about them.
So, these games, like, I started playing these games, and you know how you want to have like the cool looking cars? Well, what they did for this game is you can actually paint your cars, and you can go in and download people's paint jobs.
Oh,
so
my
Lamborghini was Joker themed purple.
Oh,
it's
wow.
in haha. I have a car that has Rick and Morty on it. I have a Jeep that says Jurassic Park on it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so we were kind of having fun with that. I played a little Back 4 Blood with friends.
How you liking that one?
I like it. I think it's a great game to just get in and play with friends. It's not something I can sit down and play by myself. I mean, I know you've played it by yourself, right, Darrell?
I did, but it's definitely even less than the Left 4 Dead games. It's not really built for playing by yourself, and you can't unlock any trophies or achievements by yourself. It has to be with at least one more player. So I played it for an hour, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I can't get anywhere with this. I'm not playing anymore until I can get a group together."
Well, if you ever want to play, we can play together.
Are you playing on Xbox?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's where I have it because of Game Pass.
Exactly, and it's crossplay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my friends were playing on Steam, and I was like, "Oh, I have it on Game Pass. I'm not gonna buy it if I could, play it on Game Pass." They're like, "Yeah, but it's crossplay."
Now,
like,
you hear what she just said, everybody? You hear what she just said? That's right. Not gonna buy it if I can get it on Game Pass.
Hell yeah!
That's right. You see, they're training you not to buy games anymore.
I ain't made of money.
Darrell just wants a giant box of games.
Yeah, I just have to own games. Like whether I
So
play
that
them or not.
one time somebody comes to his house and be like, "Look at it."
See, would you just look at it? Would you look at all my games?
No, I actually don't really have the space for physical games.
I dig it. Yeah, I bought a bigger house just to store my games.
People who live in our house actually don't know that they're there.
Yeah,
What's
but how
funny?
much? Let me ask you this: how much did your bigger house cost?
Like how much more did it cost than my last house?
Or how much? Just the price. What is? Just give me an idea of how much you bought for your house.
I paid $255,000 for my house.
And how much square feet do you have?
I've got 3,000 finished and then 1,000 unfinished. So my basement's 1,000 square foot.
Okay. In comparison, I live in New Jersey. My house was $290,000. It is 16,000 square feet.
1,000 or 1,600?
1,600. 1,600 square feet.
Yep.
And that's a lot.
Holy cow!
That would just hold my games.
Exactly. Now how much a year do you pay in taxes?
Oh man, if
Cost of living's here is pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's way cheaper. Yeah, it's like $1,500 to $1,000. I mean, no, $1,500 to $2,000, and
That's fantastic. I don't have any land. I'm in a townhouse. Our taxes are $7,000 a year.
Vote blue. You'll pay all your money to taxes.
It's because you're paying for everybody else, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly
it's also New Jersey is the most expensive tax wise.
Yeah, you gotta pay for all that trash that y'all buy.
Hey, Kalai, what exit are you off of?
117.
That's a up north thing, Darrell.
Central Jersey. It exists.
I don't know what that means.
It's a joke. So basically, if you meet somebody from New Jersey, you just say what exit, because everywhere in New Jersey has an exit off the highway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have what's called the Parkway, and the Parkway has an exit for each town. So you could take the Parkway a lot, not east to west, more like north to south. So, when you go to New Jersey, Cape May is 0. Literally, it's 0. We have, Atlantic City's Atlantic City's off of, not off the Parkway, but depending on where you go. And there's North Jersey, Central Jersey, and South Jersey. And the big joke is South, so it's like, oh, that's North Jersey. So everything like north of like Atlantic City is North Jersey to them. And, everybody like, oh, south of this is South Jersey. So everybody forgets that there's a Central Jersey.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever been to New Jersey, John Michael.
No, I haven't. I've just driven through. Like, I haven't stayed there. Have you guys ever seen the old movie Joe's Apartment?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they make that joke in there.
Ah, okay. I hadn't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
Yeah, it is. That's got a nice little song to it.
That has a bunch of songs to it.
What's crazy is like I don't have like phobias or anything. Like but I think roaches are the most disgusting thing God ever put on this earth. Like they gross me out. They give me like the ibby jibbies. Like if I see them, I feel like my skin is crawling. Right?
No, there's something worse than a cockroach.
Ugh, I just can't. That's just like spiders don't bother me.
No,
Snakes don't bother me.
You know what's worse than a cockroach?
What's that?
Somebody who spends an entire trophy war playing visual novels.
Dang, that's a tricky joke.
I was trying to make it, and you're like, no, Clyde, there's nothing worse. I'm like, oh,
no.
No, seriously, about roaches though. No, man, watching that movie, like, oof, that was. Maybe I had to take a bath afterwards. I was like, ugh, it's disgusting.
Oh, especially where they come out of the dude's mouth.
Oh, dude. So when I was a kid, like I think we were renting this place. I don't think we owned it. I was really young. But we stayed in this place, and I remember the exterminator coming out to spray it, and dude, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of roaches came out of like every nook and crack and crevice in our house. And they were flying across the house. Like I remember that, like coming out of the cabinets. Like it was the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen in my life. And it's the kind of stuff that nightmares are made out of. And it just freaking ruined me as a human being. Ruined me. So like ever since I was a kid, that's what I remember. When I see a roach, it takes me back.
So I just need you to know that I'm putting a tattoo that says Thug Angel on my body.
In real life or in in UFC?
I'm gonna let you guess.
I mean, you left early yesterday because you had a tattoo appointment.
I did. So now it is a true. It's a true.
Official. He's like, I'm just making my UFC character look more like me.
He's my more optimized me. He's easily 100 pounds less than me. He's actually not. He's more like a foot taller than me.
Oh, hey, you know what? You got to spread the love.
Yeah, bro.
All right, Kalai, what else you been playing?
What else? I played a little game called Reventure. So, Fanatical.com does this mystery giveaway. So you pay like $6 or $5 and you get like 10 games. I did a mystery of 2 games, and when they came back, I got one called Reventure. So this is a little indie game that I probably would never have tried if I did actually, didn't get it for free. Or not free, but really, really cheap. So this game is a roguelite. The board doesn't change, but every time you die, you can get a different ending in the game. And there's about 101 different endings in the game. I just thought, this is kind of cute. I'm going to try this out. So I get into this game, and, I go get the shield. And the game's like, go behind your house. I'm like, okay. I go behind the house, and I see this elder. And the elder's like, it's dangerous to go alone. And there's the sword. I'm like, oh, okay. They're making, Zelda jokes. It's kind of cute. Joke. Yeah. And then I started swinging the sword, and I accidentally killed the elder. And my character went to jail for 4 years, and that was my first ending. So then I was like, wait, what? So now I've been playing this game. I've gotten like 7 or 8 different endings. Once I tripped over a rock and died.
Nice.
Once I just fell into a hole and wouldn't stop falling. Once I had way too much stuff and my legs were crushed to death from all of the weight of everything. At one point,
you're over encumbered and you just died. Yes. What a way to go.
One of them, she was emotionally encumbered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just been like really, really funny and cute. At one point I killed the king and became king. And then everybody else thought that was a great idea and just came and killed me anyways to be king.
Started a movement.
I did. So I just found the game really, funny, really just silly. There's a Twitch integration. So I kind of want to see if I can play it on Twitch and have people come in, and I guess you guys can vote on what I do. I don't know. But I wanted to give that game a shout out.
That's awesome. I love just wild and quirky stuff like that.
Exactly. And it's very wholesome. It wasn't like
it wasn't like a tricky game, a Japanese VN.
Exactly. So that's about all I've been playing since I really can't talk about House of Ashes.
That's awesome. Well, for me, I've been a part of so as soon as the trophy war ended, I started 24 hours later a trophy competition called GTTSC, the Great True Trophies Score Competition. And so this is my first time doing it. And so, where we have our custom leaderboard, truetrophies.com, and then there's trueachievements.com. They run all these, events throughout the year. And apparently, I guess this is the big one every year where they do like a 15-week competition to see what teams and what individuals can get the most trophies. But on that website, they have their own score system. They're called the TT score, the True Trophies score, whatever. And then, of course, for achievements, it's true is TA score. And so, basically, the long and short of this competition is PlayStation gives a value for every trophy: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And so the true trophy score is based on how rare or common these trophies are. So you know how like when you play a game like Horizon Zero Dawn and you spend 70 hours to chip away at that platinum, right? And it scores the same on your level system on PlayStation as a 2-minute Zippy the Circle from Breakthrough Gaming, or a 30-minute My Name is Mayo. Like they're all weighed the same. On true trophies and true achievements, they're no longer weighed the same. They're weighted based on rarity. Now, what this particular competition is the difference of the two. So, let's say the trophy is worth 15 points according to PlayStation. On true trophies, it's a little more uncommon, so that could be a 30-point trophy. The difference of the two would be 15 points, right? So this competition, all of your score is calculated based on the difference. It could be 1 point, it could be 15 points, it could be 1,000 points, it could be, I think there's even some negatives. And it scales. So the more people that play these games and pop these trophies, the more that your true trophy score, your TT score, it can go up or down. Mine have been going down a lot. So shout out to Gaz Davis. He is our team captain, so to speak. And I've got MZ Nitro. He's on the team. And then myself, I'm pulling up the rear. And Gaz is doing a great job.
Just where you belong, in the rear.
Gaz has been doing a great job of kind of like breaking down the rules and like the key points and the things that we need to be paying attention to. He has done the research on certain games that score pretty well. And he's done a really good job of just like every couple hours, he'll post something in our little chat thread just to kind of keep us going, keep us motivated. It's like, hey, I was checking out this, or hey, I got these trophies, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll every now and again break down some of the scores. So like some of the top scoring teams have thousands of trophies, but they've only got a couple hundred points of score because they're playing new things. And, everyone's rushing out to play the new game, or they're playing these little easy trash games that like have near 100% completion rate. So those trophies are worth nothing.
Achievement.
Oh, booyah. So it's been very interesting. It's a very neat little competition. And so we're getting close to the end of week 1. And every week there's like a drop zone. So, and I don't know how they determine the drop zone. I haven't looked into it enough to figure it out, but all I know is they throw a number out there and they say anything under 298 is kicked out of the competition as of Monday. And then that drop zone level will go up. So this week we might be high on the hog and like, oh man, we're like way above that. But then as more people play and pop the same trophies we have, our score can drop and can put us below the drop zone. So it's been interesting. I'm doing that. And so with that, it has kind of shaped the games and the trophies that I've been attacking. So like right now I'm chipping away. I'm 84% done with Saints Row 4. And I've kind of, on the show, I've been playing the game in the background, just knocking out all the side quests and the collectibles, and then kind of priming everything so I can pop the trophies as I need them because they're decent. I make about 10 points a piece, on most of these trophies. I've been chipping away at Senra Kagura on the Vita. I am 75 to 80% done with that trophy list, and that'll be a good score in platinum. 79% is where I'm at.
Wait, the one that you were forced to play?
Yes. No, I lied. I just updated. I'm 80% done with the trophy list. Yeah, the one I was forced to play. It's actually beneficial to finish it, to complete it, and get all the trophies on it for this competition. And then I started playing Undertale because in this particular competition, there is a bonus for 20 trophies in an RPG, or a game that's classified as action adventure. So I'm chipping away at Undertale. Undertale is not good. I don't like it. It is very boring, very slow. It thinks it's very clever when it comes to the writing. But I popped 9 trophies in there so far. So tonight and in the morning after church, I have to finish Undertale to make sure I lock in the bonus for our team. So
I would just like to update John Michael. I'm not letting you drink alone.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, me either. I'm drinking Diet Coke, bro.
Couple adults over here.
Yeah, Diet Cokes for adults. Kids shouldn't have that too much aspartame.
That is true. I don't think anybody should have that.
Yeah, it's probably bad for you. I'm probably dying. All right, so with all that being said, since I'm talking True Trophies, I'm gonna head straight into the True Trophies leaderboards. These leaderboards are lit. Let me update it real fast because that is not correct. Since we did the trophy war, a large portion of it started last Saturday. Our trophy counts are extremely high this week because they are kind of still keeping up with that. So this is not the most updated count because I'm updating mine and there's 5,500 gamers in front of me because of this competition. So give or take a handful of trophies, this is where we're at. In first place, Tricky Mick with 791 trophies. 791.
That's a lot of game.
That's a lot, dude. Think about how long it takes to pop trophies during the day, John Michael. Now, granted,
I don't know. I've gotten like 15 trophies. Hold on, I'll tell you how many trophies I gotten today.
Oh, well, you might be on the list.
No.
Are you playing on a different profile or you're not in our leaderboard?
I'm not in the leaderboard. 14 trophies. I popped 14 trophies today.
Okay. And how long did that take you reckon?
From 2 o'clock till like 6.
All right. Try 791.
That's little kid stuff.
That's a lot. Second place, Residentdarrell with 619.
That is also a lot.
Yeah, there's at least 20 more than that I can think of that I've done since this morning, but it doesn't matter. Third place, Gaz Davis with 60. So still. And in fourth place, I'm going to go ahead and shout out MZ Nitro with 44 because that's our team right there. So me, Gaz, and MZ. That is Team Loot Bros for the GTTSC competition. Just going to kind of shout out a couple games that have been played on there. Of course, my last reported trophy is Undertale. That's not correct because I've popped several in Sinron and Saints Row, but hey, we're going to let it ride. Gaz, his last trophy was a warm place in a game called Home. That is a pixel horror game. I'll be starting that one pretty soon. And then MZ got the clown that honked 1,000 ships in Costume Quest 2. You guys ever played any Costume Quest?
Yeah, I like those games.
Not bad. I played with my daughter one time.
They are really
Should I
good.
play them?
Should you play them? Yeah, they're like little they're what's that team that made them? Oh god, dog it! It's got the really funny guy Tim Schafer. Tim Schafer and his crew made those games, Costume Quest games. They're little RPGs. So,
maybe I'll even play it on my new Xbox.
Maybe you got they're on Game Pass. At least Costume Quest 2 was. I don't know if it's still on there.
I just want to let you know that I signed a contract for Freddy's Spaghetti. I am signing up for that.
Okay, there you go. That's the thing you can do.
It's my fight promotion for UFC.
There you go. All right, true achievements. In first place, we have the Alpha Seagull with 1,485 achievement points. Homeboy's playing some Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Second place, I'm Styling on You Bro with 645. He's been knocking out the Tomb Raider Anniversary. And then third place, GDI Master Ace with 500, playing some Forza Horizon 5. See, so someone else is playing that game with you.
Am I not on the list?
No, you are at 0. It says that the last game you played on here that registered was Back 4 Blood.
Sure.
So, and there you go. That is our True Trophies and True Achievements leaderboards. Kalai, did you want to give an update on the Backlog Beatdown? I know you did a whole episode on it last week, so if you don't give an update today, that's fine.
Well, just in case, I did actually go and update everything, so it's updated.
Okay.
I'll give just the top 5.
There you go.
Red Beer Rick with 54, Tricky with 36, Gareth Davis with 32, Joseph with 29, Darrell with 24, Jared with 24, Matthew with 19, and me with 30.
I could knock out my last 2, but the problem is for the 2 trophy competitions I've been doing, the War and the GTTSC, they're not beneficial to me. So I've just been playing other games and not adding points.
Well, here's an idea. You can take a minus and just make a new list.
I could, but the problem is I actually want to finish the 2 games that are there.
Well, then you can put them on a later list.
It's a conundrum. Yeah. So it's quite the conundrum I'm in because I don't want to take the L. Kind of reminds me of someone I know named John Michael.
Yo, I've taken the big L.
He took the L out of the competition because he didn't want to take the L on the games that he picked.
Bro, I literally just got knocked out and knocked out my training partner. I got permanently injured. I got a brain injury.
See, so you just took the big L for real. So, John Michael, real quick, while we're talking backlog beatdown, do you want to tell your story with the backlog beatdown and kind of where you're at and how it broke you?
Yo, so my first 5 were giant open world games. Valhalla, Cyberpunk 3077 19, whatever game that is. Immortals Rising, Phoenix Reborn.
Yep.
And then Watch Dogs Legion. The biggest mistake of my life. I haven't even opened some of those games.
And so what happened? How come you haven't finished those like nearly 8-9 months into the competition?
I've come to realize that as an adult with a full-time job, I don't really necessarily like open world games anymore.
So for all the listeners out there, John Michael and I work really close together. Typically we're doing design work together very often. And so we conversate about games on a regular. And John Michael was like, man, I just got all these big games, super stoked. I'm going to put them all on my list. I'm going to chip away at them and boom. And I was like, man, that's a cool idea. And then here we are several months into the competition and Assassin's Creed Valhalla has broken this man.
I hate that game.
The bad thing is you hate it, but I think it's because you love it.
No, it's so bad.
He played 7,000 hours of Assassin's Creed Valhalla and then just stopped.
Cold turkey.
And then not only did he stop, but he
stopped playing video games.
He stopped playing video games. He's been playing Magic for 10 months. Like, just recently started playing video games again.
Yeah, and I literally just bought an Xbox game to turn on my Xbox. Okay, so I hadn't turned on my Xbox in so long that apparently we lost power at some point and reset my Xbox. It didn't even turn on. I was like, oh god. I was like, what an Xbox thing to do. I haven't turned you on in 9 months and you're not even going to work.
It was on strike, man. It was mad at you.
So, I had to leave it unplugged for half hour.
I almost bought a PS5.
Oh, how?
Treat yourself.
Huh?
Treat yourself. How?
So, this week my new Xbox Series X is being shipped.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, I can trade mine into X. I can trade my old one, my Xbox Series, Xbox One, for $250 to GameStop right now.
That's crazy.
And Jim's like, well, I didn't, I don't want mine either, so you might as well trade mine in as well. So that's $500.
Holy crap.
And I was like, you know what? I was like, I might as well just trade in the PS4, and if I wait, I can get a big bundle from like GameStop and get myself a PS5 for my new system. My husband was like, no, Kalai, you don't need a PS5. You could do something else with the money. Like what, Jim? Like what? And so literally, I now don't know what to do because I literally have.
But can you buy a PS5 even if you have the money?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
John Michael has tried 2 dozen times now. Still haven't been able to snag one. I was trying. So we were in the office the other day. I had a PS5 in my cart on my phone and one in the cart on the PC.
And then my wife had one. And then I had one.
None of us got one.
Oh.
Yep. And I've already gotten 2. But for whatever reason, every time I try to help John Michael, it has not worked.
The RNG Jesus hates me.
Yeah, it's not working in your favor this time.
Well, I also have I have the Total Tech with Best Buy, so I actually get options to buy them. A couple times I could have bought them and didn't buy it.
And now she tells me.
Yep. So, well, you one day, John Michael, you will get your
when I'm a real boy.
One day. So until then, we're going to jump into community questions. You guys ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Community questions. First up, Levi, the franchise killer, Mr. Beelaja himself, writes in and says, who all's playing Halo Infinite next month?
I want to.
Will you be able to? I mean, is that when you have your surgery?
Yes, that would be when I have my surgery. So no, I will not be able to. I will be consuming lots and lots of anime.
Gross. The only thing worse than not playing video games is anime.
I've been watching Sailor Moon.
What about you, JM803, Mr. Squat? Are you going to be playing some Halo Infinite?
Probably not.
Now, are you not a Halo guy?
I am. I just haven't. I'm not up to date with the story or anything.
So, what was the last one you played?
The Master Chief Collection?
Okay, did you play 5?
No.
All right.
I'll probably ODST, I think.
Okay, so 5 was not great. It wasn't terrible. The story was a little bit all over the place, and you played as this little douchebag Spartan wannabe that like no one liked for the vast majority of the game. Gameplay wise, it was good. Campaign wise, it was short. You could skip it, in my opinion. The ending is probably pretty crucial to the next story, so you could almost YouTube the ending, or if you really were serious about playing, you could borrow my copy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Or he could play it on Game Pass.
That is true. It is, I forgot it is on Game Pass. So yeah,
then you guys can play together.
I would do that too. I would totally do that.
I would play.
And we could all play together. That's actually how I played the game. Was my brother, his best friend at the time, who has passed, and it was me, my brother, Chris, and one other person. I kind of feel like it was Tanner. I could be wrong. Tanner actually associated with people back then. So I don't know. I can't remember who our fourth was, but basically we ran through the game in one sitting, like literally one sitting. But it was awesome. We had a really good time. I say it was awesome. The experience was awesome. The game itself was fine. My brother and I did spend a lot of time killing each other. You know how in Halo you can walk behind your partner and like melee them in the back of the head and they'll die instantly? Every time my brother and I would clear out an area, like there'd be a big firefight, whoever's basically killing the last person gets killed. And I mean, it would be him popping me in the back of the head or I pop him in the back of the head. And we laughed and laughed and laughed. Like we had so much fun. And we probably killed each other, like total back and forth with each other 100 times. Just absolute ridiculous. It's like, oh man, there's this giant firefight. We do all this crazy cool stuff. And then boom, last enemy. And then sometimes it'd be the last handful of enemies because we'd be both trying to kill each other as fast as we could without the other person, being aware of it. So it was fun. I recommend it. John Michael, if you're going to play, like you're just now easing back into things. So I don't want to overwhelm you, but that would be one of those story-based shorter games like me and you were talking about.
Yeah.
That you can knock out. And with a friend, we could do it in a Saturday.
What I'm loving about Mafia is that I had an option to be able to skip all the driving.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Speaking of that Mafia game, I have been challenged via our You Pick, You Play, You Pick, We Play tier on Patreon.
Now, remember, everybody, for $25, you can pick one of us and make them play a game. such as Darrell and Just Dance 2022.
Negative. That's going to be you, Kalai. You're going to keep asking for it, and somebody is going to pick you for it. That's going to happen.
It's all right. It's a great way to lose weight. I'm all right with it.
Well, you know what? Whenever you have your surgery next month, you'll need to be playing Just Dance because you won't be able to play anything else.
Well, did you see what somebody suggested in our Facebook group I play? It was hysterical.
Oh, the one-handed game, the anime games? Yeah. That was Rick. That was really funny. Like, that made me laugh.
It made me laugh, too.
Yeah. So he's like, some offhanded remark about what you're supposed to be doing with the other hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is my third time now. I've been selected on the Patreon to play a game. I have played and reviewed Alien Isolation. I have beaten Senran Kagura. And then once I finish this platinum run, I'll do my review on it. I kind of want to put a little spoiler out there, a little teaser. Why in the world is there not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game? Like, you could take Senran Kagura, Estival Versus, reskin it, TMNT, and that would be the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game ever released. The fact that this
what
is not
was that comic book Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that came out?
The one by Platinum Games?
I believe.
That one was pretty good.
Where like they could like interact with moves. You could like team up moves.
Yeah, but you couldn't play multiplayer with that one, and that one was kind of like a missed opportunity. Still not a terrible game.
That one was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was good. This would be a really good one too. But yeah, so now for the third challenge, I have been challenged to play Mafia Definitive Edition. So glad you brought that up.
That's a pretty good game.
Yeah, I know. Thank God I finally get to play a good one. So yep. So, and you said you can skip the driving on that one, John Michael?
Yeah, you can. It's real good. It's an option you set up in the very beginning of the game.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, I'll probably drive for a little while. Can you toggle it on and off throughout the game?
Yeah, so you start out driving everything, and then you have a little option to hold down to skip it.
Got you. See, that's how all open world games should be.
Literally, we've been talking about this for how long? Like, because I love open world games, but at a certain point, you just get tired of the driving.
Or just
the riding of a horse, like...
Or you can't drive like me.
Insert generic travel transportation means.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've actually got all the Mafia games downloaded on my console right now. So I'll be.
Do you have the second one physical?
I have the digital version of it on PS4, but I have the PS3 version physical. Because it was originally a PS3 game and they re-released it on PlayStation 4 and 5 or whatever. I have that one. I don't have the remaster version on physical. I've got a physical version of the first one. So
yeah, I want to get the second one now.
Heck yeah, man. But I hear the second one's really good. I believe I played it on Xbox 360 a little bit. I know I beat the first one. I used to play all those games though, like the Getaway, the Godfather, like the freaking Mafia. I know I played Mafia 2 a little bit on Xbox, but I never beat it. So it's gonna be good for me. I'm gonna enjoy it. So I really wanted to get the new Grand Theft Auto trilogy, even though I own the PS2 versions.
I've heard it's getting some pretty big flack right now.
Apparently, it's just broken. There's all kinds of things wrong with it. So I'm gonna wait, which is cool. That's a fine. I don't need to buy another game. I got so many games beside me I haven't even started yet, and I got 4 more in the mail right now.
So your boy's making his UFC debut right now.
There you go.
Eat at Freddy's Spaghetti. If you want spaghetti, he's got you covered.
There you go. Got to get that money.
Yeah, sponsorship.
Heck yeah. All right, so Matt G writes in. He says, we're coming down to the wire of 2021. What are some games you played this year that were released in 2021 that are going to be in your Game of the Year list? For him, he said Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil 8. I'm going to start this one. Resident Evil 8 is probably my Game of the Year so far. That is, it's a masterpiece. Absolutely amazing game. As far as other games that came out this year, I've been playing a lot of these interactive movie games. Kalai, have you ever played any, like, okay, well, you've played the Dark Pictures Anthology. Have you played other games like that?
Yes.
Okay. So I have been playing some more full motion video versions of those style of choice driven games. My wife and I have been playing them together, and this has been
What?
really,
Your wife's playing video games?
dude, it is crazy. My wife, like, I finally found like something that she's into. We've been playing this game called I Saw Black Clouds, not a game of the year game, but it's good. And we've been playing that one. We've beaten it 3 or 4 times now.
And then you played the game.
That applies and holds true. And then we've also been playing, or actually I didn't play it. She played, or excuse me, she didn't play it. I played it. One called She Sees Red. I actually got the platinum in that one this week. I forgot to mention it. But as far as game of the year contenders, staying on point, the Medium would be up there in that conversation. That came out this year, originally launched in Game Pass. Definitely Resident Evil 8 for me. So those would be my 2. I own Ratchet and Clank, haven't started it yet. I also picked up Hitman when it came out, haven't started it yet either. So those would be the ones. I think maybe Song of Horror came out. Yeah, that came out in May. So Song of Horror, I don't know that it'd be a game of the year contender, but it's very unique, very interesting. So what about you, Kalai? Something that came out this year that's on your game of the year list?
I'm going to have to go with Monster Hunter Rise because I am a Monster Hunter fan. I am true co-op. I like to play with my friends because I think gaming is better together. Medium was up there. Resident Evil 8 was up there. I want to say Half-Life Alyx, but I think that was last year. I can't remember. I think that was last year.
I feel like that was last year.
I know. It's such a good game. So, those are about my contenders.
Heck yeah. And then, John Michael, the games that came out this year, you're looking at UFC's about the only thing that's brand new that you've played this year, right?
Yeah, I think so, pretty much.
So, I'm assuming, would you put that in your game of the year conversation, or?
Ooh, I'm not sure. It's very good. I wouldn't say that, though.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
I don't know if I've played enough games this year.
Hey, man. Every now and again, it's okay to take a break. I mean, not for me, but for other
people. It's definitely not Valhalla.
So apparently I can't drive a McLaren.
Well, that game automatically...
Financial restraints.
Yep, that game automatically loses a point. All right, next up on the community questions, Tricky Mick asks, are you going to invite the winners of the Trophy War on the show? The answer is no.
I saw that.
Yep. No, you got your win. We're done for a little while. He actually texted me because we had like a little bet going on. The losing team had to donate $50 to the winning team's Extra Life. So I sent him his $50, and he was like, "Thank you." I was like, "Man, no worries. You earned it. It was a good time." And he goes, "Are you going to learn to stop challenging me in wars?" I said, "Third time's a charm," because I've lost 2. And then real quick, I'm styling on you, bro. Writes in, he goes, do you think Sony should take the path that Xbox will normally follow, being that each game has one trophy or achievement list? After all, these are just digital stamps, so why buy multiple versions of the same game to get the same digital stamp? If these were physical stamps in a book, you likely wouldn't be doing it, because having a bunch of duplicates doesn't consist of increasing your collection. Also, with these stamps being in digital form and a key driver to everybody's gaming experience, how do you feel that the fact we don't actually about the fact that we don't actually own these stamps? Again, referring to trophies and achievements. So, John Michael, we're going to start with you. Do you think having multiple trophy lists, multiple achievement lists of the same game is a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it has pros and cons. We're in an environment where like people tend to like trophies. You know what I mean? We have podcasts about it, not naming names. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like certain games, like Ratalika games, have a history of just being easy platinums. You know what I mean? So if you can get them cross-platform, I feel like certain people buy those just on principle.
Yep, that is very true. That is definitely the selling point for those. I personally, and I'll turn it over to you in just a second, Kalai, I personally love the idea of having multiple stacks and multiple versions. From a consumer standpoint and from a business standpoint, why wouldn't you? You know, like for me, like removing the cheap, easy stuff out, having multiple versions of the same game gives somebody like me the opportunity to play that same game again and re-attain the trophies and achievements, but not feel like I'm wasting my time. What I mean by that is this: Order 1886. Absolutely love the game. One stack, one trophy list, as far as I know. I played it. I platinumed it. That was back in 2014. It's 2021. I would love to play that again, but don't want to give 6 hours, to a game and not be adding to my score. That's just not the way I like to play. It's not the way I like to invest my time. But if I could buy the European version of the Order 1886, I would, and then re-platinum it that way. Therefore, I'm getting to experience the game again, and then I'm getting to get the trophies. So sure, they're just digital stamps, but there's that little shot of a little hit of adrenaline, that endorphin release that comes every time I get trophies that feeds my addiction. I need it. Makes it fun. And yeah, there's only one. Looking again. I believe there's only one stack. No, there is. Maybe there's a second stack of that one. I don't know. Daddy might be buying another version of it. I might have been wrong. So, what do you think, Clyde? Do you think that games should have multiple stacks, multiple versions of the same game, just so you can get more trophies?
Well, I understand. I like that Xbox doesn't do that, and I understand why PlayStation does. PlayStation does it because, PlayStation players need to feel like they have that really big EP-ness.
Yep.
Whereas Xbox players, we don't need that.
Because you're mainly ladies, and ladies don't need penises.
Well, I need a penis.
That's not true. Anybody can have a penis these days. Check your privilege.
Oh, I tried.
Stay woke, fellas.
Doing my best. So, yeah, you know what? I think that if the Xbox allowed multiple stacks, they would be purchased. And actually, there are the Windows version of games and the Xbox version of games. There are some stacks, but it's not like it is with
PlayStation. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Like, I get that there's multiple stacks. I understand. What it really comes down to is everybody knows Xbox came up with the achievement system first and PlayStation followed. PlayStation just took it and ran and did their own thing, which is absolutely fine. They're, as much as I joke, they did their own thing and it worked for them.
Thank the Lord they did, because I need this in my life. So I wish there was a European version of Resident Evil 5, because that'd be another platinum I would get. And I know for a fact that one doesn't exist. So, and then what do we think about the fact that we don't actually own these? And like that goes into that whole conversation of even owning digital physical games. Like, should trophies matter, being that they're just little digital blings? I mean, personally, I like the fact that they do. I couldn't imagine housing 14,000 actual physical versions of I got 14,477 trophies. My house is It was a decently sized, but I don't have enough space for 14,477 physical trophies. So I'm going to have to keep it on the digital side.
I mean, it doesn't bother me either way.
There you go. That's the way it should be. If it ain't for you, it just ain't.
Double Fine.
Yes, that's who I was. Yeah, Tim Schafer and Double Fine. That's who I was.
I just pulled up Costume Quest 2 on my Xbox and it was like Double Fine. I was like, that's what you were trying to think of.
Yeah, it's a cute little game. So I played it with my daughter for a while, and she really enjoyed it. And by I played it with my daughter, I mean I pretty much sat there and watched her play and wasn't allowed to play the game myself, unless it was something really tough, or I wasn't allowed to just leave and let her play it and me go do my own thing. That's the way she likes to spend time together. So, yeah, it's not a bad little game. All right, that is all of the trophies. So we're going to end the show with a nice little recap. I know we kind of talked really at the beginning of the show. We talked about the trophy war. So this will be kind of brief. John Michael, having you on, I kind of wanted to reflect a little bit on the previous trophy war because you played that. You did that one with me.
I did.
And then this one right here. So I guess overall, just your impressions of, again, the 2016, I think it was Trophy War, 2015 Trophy War. Did you enjoy that event? Did you have a good time with that?
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. I feel like I enjoyed that a lot more than like making a list and having to stick to that list.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like that a lot better. Like the call your shot was real hard because like if you got burnt out on one game on the old trophy list, you could just start playing another game. You weren't tied to a group of games.
Yep. Now, with that trophy war we did, that was a month long. This has been 11 months, like a year long, essentially, because we started, in February. Did you prefer a 1 month event or a year long event?
I'm very confused. You're saying trophy war. Are you talking about the backlog beatdown?
Well, we're talking about both. The trophy war we did back in 2015, we did for a month, and he was just making the comparison to enjoying that event a lot better than this current year-long event just by the structure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we've been talking about this a lot off mic. So, just kind of clarify. We've been John Michael. A lot of times, John Michael's my he's my whiteboard. He's like my sounding board. I sit there and I spitball ideas. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And then he'll fire back with whether or not that's a stupid idea, or he'll give me like an interesting spin on it from an outsider's perspective. So like we're just kind of spitballing, because I know you and JT got together last week and talked about potential ideas and changes for the event for next year.
He had some good ideas.
Yeah. I like the idea of putting together a council of people that are not us, so they can deal with all of the questions and the complaining.
No, I think he just wanted to be on the council, which would have been you, me, Joe, and him.
Oh, I like the idea of him heading it up, and just we'll write the Bible for the event and then turn it over to him.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
When I was listening to the show, I was like, oh, we're going to take this idea and go one step farther. We're going to give someone else all the heat. So we're going to make the rules, and then we're going to peace out for the year. We're just going to read the updates. So, but no, having and that's what I want. I want the community to get involved in this stuff, and having somebody like JT who's been with us since the beginning, kind of like lead the council on whether or not, something works or doesn't work, or if someone like Tricky's trying to pull a fast one on us, the king of exceptions, as they call him. So, yeah, I like having somebody who's definitely, and somebody whose knowledge is far greater than mine, because like I play a lot of games, right? I feel like I have a very diverse knowledge of games and gaming, but like there's just so much of it that I don't know. And somebody like JT who really has a grasp over so much stuff, and he looks at things in a different perspective than I do. So it's definitely he has a lot of knowledge and really.
Yeah, absolutely. Like one of the things that went wrong with this year's backlog beatdown, which I totally understand, was that people didn't understand that. I don't know how they didn't understand. I guess they don't listen to anything. I think next year we'll just have to list out all the rules. 2021 games didn't count. and people were putting them on the list, and we weren't even catching them because we thought, oh, people would listen to our rules.
Well, for the most part, I look at all the lists and I kind of go, I think to myself, is this a new game or an older game? But the farther we get in the year, the harder it is to remember. Was this a January game? It feels
Right.
like this game's been out forever. Oh wait, that came out in February. My bad. So, but yeah, we can't. That's why we need a council. That's why we need a group of people who are solely responsible for making sure everybody keeps their nose clean.
So let's put this out to there. Who wants to join our council? And Tricky, that's a no. So
Tricky
anybody else?
Yeah, Tricky's not allowed. He asked to be a part of it in a bigger way, and I actually have just considered just banning him from it altogether. Just because Tricky makes everything difficult. Like, he made the trophy war difficult. Like, he makes everything difficult. And then the thing is this, is like his team won, right? Now, again, changing subjects, going to the trophy war we just did for Extra Life. His team won, and he still called everybody my team cheaters. I'm like, what are you talking about? You guys created brand new blank accounts in the 11th hour to start and earn trophies from scratch, and we were the ones that cheated. I just don't understand.
Right?
So tricky makes everything difficult. So again, kind of looking at all of the events from the 1,000-foot bird's eye view. Man, I love this stuff. I love having them. I love doing the backlog beatdown. I love doing the trophy wars. The trophy wars are tough, and John Michael can attest to this. It takes a lot to focus on finishing your games and playing games in a way that is only there to accumulate score, opposed to playing games to enjoy them. And even if the actual moment to moment doesn't change, it feels like it's different because I'm supposed to be getting points. Am I right or wrong on that one, John Michael?
Yeah. Like, you know the general goal of the whole thing.
And it's like, I remember specifically, now this is referring to the 2015 Trophy War. You were playing Far Cry Primal. There you are again, open world, big open world games. And I remember you telling me just how difficult it was for you to finish that one for trophies because you had to do so many missions and so much stuff, and that it was sucking the fun out of that game for you.
Yeah, very much so.
So, and it's a thing. So, like, now again, jumping up to the Extra Life War, okay, the one we just did this past weekend. Tricky was playing for technically only 21 hours because he had to play the division for 4 hours. For 21 hours, he was playing friggin' dumpy, friggin' pervy anime titty visual novels, and he was just sitting there following a guide making choices. And even he said that that's not fun.
I know. And Joe was supposed to go make him play another 3 hours of Division. Like, literally, he was like, oh, let's do this. I'm like, okay. And somehow he did not do that.
Yeah, well, don't worry, guys. I had to play 7 hours of games that did not add to my trophy score or to my platinums. So I definitely took I laid on that hand grenade for everybody. And I was fortunate enough to play the Necromancer Slay the Dance Floor for 3 hours for Jim. And it took me 3 hours to beat that get past the 5th level. Like, that 5th level just stumped me. I just couldn't figure it out.
I know. How about the other game that he played?
Me? The Zombie Vikings?
Yeah.
That, or Viking Zombies, or whatever. That's actually not bad. It's just, you don't really get a lot of trophies, for the 3 hours that I played. But yeah, that was actually not a bad game. It actually harkens back to some Battletoads. Like, I don't know if you remember Battletoads from.
Oh yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Well, okay, that's not a good Battletoads. That's a terrible game. But if you remember the old Battletoads, like Battletoads and Double Dragon and stuff like that from SNES, like, those are really good games. And that Zombie Vikings has there's some similarities there. There's some little neat, like, nods to the Battletoads games as far as, like, animations and little things. It's a nice little beat 'em up. It's a fun game. A little long in the tooth for someone who's trying to hunt trophies, but it definitely was not a miserable experience like Necromancer Slay the Dance Floor. For the record, that game sucks. So if you're into fantasy RPG rhythm games, don't play that one. So now that game was way too hard for its own good. I don't understand. Either that or I'm way too dumb for a game like that. Both things are probably true. So, but anyways, kind of getting back into now, jumping ahead to this past trophy war. But again, staying on the theme of these events that we've been doing with the show, man, we had so much fun. My son, he got to experience Titanfall 2 for the first time. And I mentioned him playing, we've mentioned, let's play that together, like let's sit down together and play that game. And it's just one we've never gotten around to. And he loves Apex Legends. And he's gotten all the trophies in Apex. He plays, pretty regular. He loves that game. So it was nice, even though I wasn't sitting there playing it with him, but to sit in the same room as he experienced that game. John Michael, have you played Titanfall 2?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Kalai, you've played Titanfall 2, right?
No, I haven't. Oh. I bought it cheap and I was like, I'm going to play this. And then just never did.
Oh, Kalai, it's so good. And you love first-person shooters, and that is right up your alley. You got to play that before you have surgery. When are you having surgery?
24th.
Okay, so there's still time. There's still time. You have 11 days. That is such a good game. It's like 6 hours long. And my recommendation would be throw it on easy or regular and just play it and enjoy the story. The fluidity and the movement of the game is second to none. It's awesome. The story's pretty good, but there's a level where you get this gadget that allows you to kind of go back and forth throughout time. And it is awesome. Like that is one of the coolest levels in a first-person shooter. Just such a good game. But like watching my son play it and just hearing him get excited. He's like, oh man, oh, that was awesome. And he would like pull his headphones off every now and again and just be like, Dad, this is such a good game. And it wasn't like, I don't know. It was very, very awesome to watch that and to witness it, and like, I'm over here playing trash stuff like friggin' Pammy Bowling. And I'm like just wearing out these like easy, 5-minute platinums. And I end up getting, what I say? I got 38 for the day, 38 platinums. Tricky ended up with 55. So it was a good, a good amount. But I'm sitting there playing these dumpy trash games, right? And I'm watching him play that. And then my nephew, he picked up Fallout 4 for the first time. I'm assuming you guys have both played Fallout 4, right?
Yeah, I love that game.
Multiple times.
So
never beat it, but multiple times.
Yeah, I've never beaten it, but I've lived in
it. Now, how are the stories in Fallout games? Because I've never finished one.
The side stories is what you play it for, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's like Skyrim. Like you don't play the game because most of those games, to be honest with you, could be beaten in about 6 hours at a speed run.
Really?
Oh yeah, the storylines aren't long. But the problem is as a player of those games, you're not there for the story. You're there to experience the world. So like you're looking for the armor. You're, getting these cool weapons and totally taking out and shooting this guy in the head. So like you end up spending.
That got aggressive very fast.
I like aggressiveness.
Ooh. Yeah, I've made it out of the vault on 2 different Fallout games and got killed immediately after and then stopped playing. So I've never played a Fallout game, but watching my son and my nephew play for hours and just they were laughing when someone would ragdoll on a crazy death or something wild would happen and they were having so much fun. It was definitely, it was so, the event itself, win, lose, draw, whatever, was totally worth just that experience, sitting down with them and playing, these games and just watching them experience it. Now, Noah, he popped 12 platinums for the event. He started off his day doing a lot of cheap, easy ones, and he found a couple Ratalaika games that he actually enjoyed. Like the actual gameplay itself was fun on him. So he played a couple of them well past the point of time that he actually platinumed the game, and he enjoyed that. But again, watching him knock out, Titanfall 2 and Fallout 4 was just like It was awesome. And I didn't play anything that really like mattered. I played Hue for a while, but I wasn't enjoying that. So I didn't walk away with any like great gaming experience aside from Necromancer, Slay the Dance Floor. But like watching my son play was totally worth it. And then of course you had spider packs in there, calling out my trophies, giving the booyahs for platinums, and then dancing on the in front of the camera when I would go like use the restroom or get something to drink. And I'd come back and he's dancing like he got boogie in his bones. But he was having a good time. So it was definitely, like I said, it was awesome. It was worth it, even though we lost. Again, a quick recap on the totals. The platinums were 60 to 61 or 61 to 62. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I do remember we lost right there at the end by one. A tie would have put us in a sudden death situation where Tricky and I would have had to stream and do some other kind of competition, which would have been fun. And then, of course, the total of games beaten. My team, I beat the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Have you played that, John Michael?
No, I haven't gotten a chance.
Are you a Power Rangers guy?
Yeah, I like the old school ones.
Yeah. So this one is like a Marvel versus Capcom style fighting game. You can have 3v3 kind of thing. You tag in your characters and stuff like that, and you do super moves and everything. Very, very competent fighter. I enjoy it quite a bit. That was one of the games that was picked on the list. Whoever on the community council picked that out. That was a good one because I think almost everyone in the competition beat that game.
The Power Rangers game?
Yeah.
I want to say that was Joe.
That was a really good one.
I could tell you, I picked Crazy Taxi, Frogger.
Frogger was popular. That one got beat a few times.
Yeah, I tried to pick games that weren't too hard. Like I tried to give a range of games, and like every time Tricky was like, "Oh, how's the list going?" I just told him that I was making a huge RPG because I couldn't take him asking me. So apparently Joe was like, "Everybody's worried that there's not going to be good games to play." I'm like, "Oh, we have good games. I just was lying out my teeth because again." And you know what? Speaking about our event, let's go over this again. When somebody wants an exception to the rule, I don't know why you people keep coming to me. Because I gotta tell you, no.
That's right. I'm gonna tell you no too, so don't come to me either.
Well, Tricky came to me and was like, "Oh, I want to do my next list, but can I keep it secret?" No.
Yeah, and in the middle of the event, he was like, "Hey, I want to add all the games that I'm beating to the list." I'm like, "No, that's not how it works. You put the list out, then you beat the games. You put the list out, then you beat the games." I was like, "How about this? Take a negative on the games you have on your current list, and then put your next 5 out, platinum them, get your points, put the next one out, and all the way down." And he was like, "I want to do all 30 at one time." Like, no. And he wanted to do it after the fact because he wanted to have all of them beaten in platinum during the event and then type them up and turn them in. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, because he was trying to beat Slip because he wanted to like Ninja be first place because apparently I don't know why.
Yeah, he wants it. He wants some bragging rights. So, yeah. So, John Michael. Again, now this is going back to the first ever trophy war we did. Would you ever do something like that again?
The trophy war? Yeah, probably. That would be fun.
Would you be willing to do like a dirty, Ratalaika trophy war, or you want to do like a purist, like legit game for trophy war?
Is there a difference these days?
Wait, I have a question for John Michael. Am I allowed to ask?
What's up?
Why weren't you in this trophy war? Because you guys, Loot Bros was down a man.
Trophy!
Let's go, Brandon!
I'm not really sure. I wasn't really playing many games. I wouldn't have been any much help anyways.
But like, if you were called upon to do your civic duty for the Loot Bros, would you?
I have no civic duty to the Loot Bros.
Yeah.
I just call it honestly.
No, John Michael would have been asked, but two things. A, I don't know that I really realistically would have gone to John Michael because I feel like I hurt him on the last one. forcing him to play games to completion. It's not really his shtick.
I got the most amount of platinums in my history, though.
That's right. That is the most he's gotten in his entire PlayStation.
I stopped playing video games after that.
Yeah, see, it breaks people. It ruined Tanner and Frosty.
Yeah, it's something to like play video games because you like it. It's a different thing when you're forced to play a video game.
When you're playing for competition, it changes things. That's what makes, we've been having a lot of conversations on the Loot Bros with like high-end trophy hunters, high-end achievement hunters. And that's why like people who write in these questions from week to week, listeners, if you're like, I don't know why this is a big deal. We have so many, conversations with these high-end hunters, and we have people write in specifically for those things. But yet, like, it takes a special breed of person to constantly play and not play to casually enjoy it, but to play to complete, get points, and get out. And like, it's not for everybody. That's just, that's with anything. That's with sports. That's with, I'm saying, like, art. But that's with music. Like some people, when you enjoy something and then you all of a sudden turn that into a chore, it can ruin your hobby. And that's
why I was just going to say that's why I like our contest, and that's why our contest isn't solely based off of. It's a mixture of things. Like our contest is designed to have fun. So John Michael, I really encourage you to come and join our contest next year. In fact, we would even put you on the backlog beatdown council if you would like.
Oh,
that's a lot of pressure.
So what I would love for you to do, John Michael, and we're going to end the show with this, okay? This is going to tie it in. So we've talked previous Trophy War. We've talked recap for the current Trophy War.
You tell me what you need on Monday?
No, I'll text you that list. No, but this is where we tie it into the current backlog beatdown. Call your shot, okay? You need to take the negatives on your current list, okay? And then create a new list of these games that you have right now that you're playing.
That is true. UFC and Mafia.
Yep. You can create a new list. You
can be a Zach.
Yeah, don't be like Zach.
Yo, but the big L is I feel like is better than the little L's.
Well, I don't. I think if you take the little L, it shows you tried, that you participated, and you played the game, you hung in. If you just sit at 0 the whole time, that means you signed up and you never started.
Or the big L says I resisted the man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you want to do it like that. But my daughter did the same thing. You know what? She finally overcame her fear, and she beat some of the games on her list. She refuses to take the L on the last two.
Yeah, I feel like taking the L's just feel real bad.
Which is so funny that that's a thing, because like you could have moved on and played 100 different games. I feel like we got to have Rick on the show so he could explain to you guys how easy it is just to say, no, I'm not playing this anymore. Moving on. We should have a whole segment. We should have Rick do a soundbite for us that just says, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm moving on. I don't know what Rick sounds like when he talks. I don't have a clue if that's good audio, but he has been the shining example in this competition. The dude has taken more negatives than most people have put on their list, like played games. And it's just like, yeah, this isn't working for me. I'm going to move on to the next game. This isn't working for me. I'm going to move on to the next game.
And don't forget, in the middle of this competition, he realized he wasn't playing right and took a ton of negatives.
Yeah, he took a 15-point negative and didn't put up a fuss about it. He was like, oh, I missed this point. My bad. Here, give me a negative 15. I'll start over. And has stayed in first place.
Would you like to know how many games he's called and how many he's abandoned? Because I can tell you that in our stats.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about old Redbeard Rick.
So he called 100 games so far. He's abandoned 33 of them, and he's beat 77 games.
And that is insane. You hear that, John Michael? He's abandoned 33 games.
That's a whole lot of L's. I have one L.
And he's 100% only 10 of them.
Yeah, so he's just playing games and moving on. The dude's a monster.
And here's another one. Here's another interesting fact. Tricky has called 47. He's only abandoned 3. He beat 31 of them, and he's only 100% 8 of them.
Well, also Tricky has beaten games that are unbeatable for a man with his level of skill. I mean, I'm not saying he's cheating. I'm just saying Tricky is the Dominion of this contest.
All I'm saying is my experience in Tricky is he had his wife beating games for him under his profile the last trophy war.
Oh, snap, called out.
So, like, leopard can't change his stripes type.
Let's also give a shout out to JT, who's called 41 shots, abandoned 23 of them, and beat 13 of them, and 100% 12 of them. That's pretty good. That's good.
Because that's double points right there, you know? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. Darrell, you've abandoned 3 games.
Yeah, I probably should abandon more, but I actually want to finish the ones I have. So, and I'll be honest, I've probably beaten 50. Well, no, I beat 30. Well, I platinum 38, but I've probably beaten 50 to 100 games outside of my list, but they weren't backlog games.
Yeah, like I've beaten Batman.
Yeah, that's one you could have taken the L on your list and populated your new list with that one. So, see, there's still hope for you, bro. We still got time. You got almost 2 months. Do it. Give in. Take the L.
I'm about to take some L in some games.
Yep, there you go. I'm not going to take the L yet, but who knows? I might take on my next list. Hey, Kalai, John Michael, thank you guys so much for coming on here, talking shot with me. Thank you guys for writing into the show and keeping the questions coming and making them awesome. It definitely spices things up, makes it fun. Thank you to everyone who left us reviews on iTunes. Unfortunately, every podcast platform does not have a review system, so that's why we constantly lean on to iTunes/Apple Podcasts. And that also happens to be the biggest platform. So therefore, whenever you go there and leave a review, it does put us up into areas where we can be seen with other podcasts. So it's definitely a big deal. Thank you guys so much for all you do. If you don't do the podcast app and you don't do the Patreon, go to the YouTube, type in Loot Bros Podcast, and you will see where we have a YouTube channel that has the Loot Bros Podcast, Avocation to Climb, that's CJ's Once in a Blue Moon Xbox YouTube only podcast, and then the old Push to Plat show that CJ used to do. It's all archived there. Go subscribe to the YouTube. It's slowly but surely, we've got like 138 subscribers on there. It would be great if we could bump that up to 150 to 200. We don't do a lot of video on there. We just archive the podcast there. And the podcasts are doing better and better each week. So it's definitely nice to see those views going up, people listening to it and commenting there. So I think that's all the housekeeping. That's all we got. Thank you guys so much for coming. This has been the Loot Bros Podcast, and we're out of here. To end this week's show, I'm going to do something a little different. My band Ninjaloot is working on their next single that we're going to be dropping very, very soon. And so I wanted to give the listeners of this show just a sneak little peek. Now, I know not everyone who listens to the show likes metal, and I know not everybody that listens to this show enjoys our music, but there are a handful of you that have expressed interest in this stuff, and there are a handful of you who have supported us and what we've been doing tangentially to this podcast. So I want to give you a little snippet of our next single that should be releasing at the end of this month. That is November of 2021. I hope you enjoy it. This song's called Judge.